Hello and welcome back to another in-depth weather video. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now let's go in-depth. Today we're going to be talking about many subjects, especially with the tropics, but we'll get to that a little later. But first, a little update here on what else is happening in the United States. So we're still tracking Laura, which is now in Arkansas and the Mississippi and Ohio River valleys. We'll be tracking that over the next few days until it eventually leaves off the east coast. Then we also have some heat advisories, some severe thunderstorm related watches, warnings, and advisories in the Dakotas, and then of course some wildfire related watches, warnings, and advisories in the west. Let's move on here to the radar. Most defining features here is of course Laura and its path, and as well as some thunderstorms in the Dakotas, and then some showers from the mid-Atlantic coast into Wisconsin. Now let's move on to the satellite imagery. On the goes east, you can see a wide plume of thunderstorm activity over the Dakotas, as well as Laura and its very wide cloud shield now, as it has kind of been ripped apart over land, which is kind of expected when a hurricane makes landfall, as well as some thunderstorms and a front pushing out of the northeast. Let's move on here to the Storm Prediction Center. We do have enhanced and slight risks today. Enhanced risks in Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. Slight risks in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. Another slight risk in areas that are being affected by Laura. Large population centers in the enhanced risk are Milwaukee, Madison, Rockford, Cedar Rapids, and Elgin. In slight risk, you have Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, Columbus, and Memphis. And in marginal, you have New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C., and Kansas City. Now let's move on here to the excessive rainfall outlook. We do have multiple pockets of slight risks, one in Louisiana, one in the Tennessee River Valley, and one in the Great Lakes region. Marginal risk in multiple spots, one spot here in the Rocky Mountains, and then a larger area from the Mississippi River to the northeast. If you're in that marginal risk, you have a 5 to 10% chance of exceeding flash flood guidance, and slight risk is 10 to 20% chance of exceeding flash flood guidance. Now let's move on to the National Hurricane Center, where we're still tracking Laura. Right now, 35-mile-an-hour winds, 993 minimum central pressure, and moving north-northeast at 15 miles an hour. So we're also watching two disturbances here, one with 20% chance of 48 hours and 30% chance of 5 days, and another one with near 0% chance of 48 hours and 30% in 5 days. I do want to focus on the Eastern Pacific, as we could see some hurricane combination action here in the East Pacific, with Isel and Hernan possibly joining together. I've seen that Isel kind of takes the leftover energy from that, at that point, tropical depression Hernan, and kind of combines it with then tropical depression Isel. Now let's move on to the current storm information for all these storms. So Laura, it's a tropical storm. It's expected to become a tropical depression, and then those winds kick back up to tropical storm intensity as it moves off the coast. For Hernan, we have tropical storm force winds and that is expected to become a tropical depression here soon. And for Isel, we have tropical storm force winds expected to increase a little bit and then take that dive. Let's go to the forecast models here. So let's start here with the NAM 3-kilometer model, and we're just going to quickly go through this. You can see those thunderstorms still moving through the northern tier of the country, and Laura still pushing through, dropping a lot of rainfall until it eventually gets absorbed by that front. Now let's go to the temperatures for today, where we do have a couple of excessive heat risks, especially in areas that were just affected by Laura, especially in Texas here. The southern coast of Louisiana is a little bit cooler at this point, but I think later in the day, tomorrow, you start to see those 90s and triple digits come back. So definitely in the southwest, you're looking at triple digits. If you move further north and east, I think that is when you're going to see lower and lower temperatures. Now let's move on to the GFS and quickly go through the tropics. I'm just going to go right into the Eastern Pacific, and we're going to look at what these storms do. So over the next probably day or two, you can see there's Hernan. It really isn't picking up on the models. All that energy kind of gets absorbed by Isel as it's kind of weakening as well. So I think that this is going to be a very low case of the Fujiwara effect, where what happens when two storms combine. And I think we kind of see that Isel's track kind of moves a little bit closer to the shore when that happens. But again, I don't think that there's going to be that much of an impact by these two storms kind of combining, but we'll have to wait and see. I know this video was a little bit longer, but there was a lot of stuff to cover. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.